Within you, a light lives that never goes out. Maybe the world has made you forget, but that spark is still alive, waiting to be remembered. You are a profound force, a boundless wisdom, and love in constant motion. There is a part of you that knows this deep truth, that never doubted it, and that is calling you home to your true essence. You came to this life to create, to truly enjoy every moment, and to shine brightly without needing permission from anyone. And that enthusiasm you've been searching for outside yourself is already within you, waiting to be rediscovered. You only need to look inward and say to yourself, with profound love and conviction, I remember who I am and I'm ready to shine completely. This isn't just about wishing, it's about a conscious act of remembrance. Joy isn't an extravagant luxury. It is in fact an essential and profound necessity for the soul's well-being. Without it, enthusiasm withers away, much like a beautiful flower deprived of the sun's nurturing warmth. And yet, how many times do we put off our own joy for later, postponing it as if it isn't an urgent priority, when in reality, it is the vital fuel that makes everything else in our lives function and flourish. In this video, I'm not here to offer you simple, magical, quick-fix solutions, but something far more valuable and enduring. I am here to give you real, practical tools to help you reconnect with your authentic joy, your profound sense of inner fulfillment, and your deep, vibrant desire to live fully. Because sometimes it's not about changing your entire life overnight, but rather about learning to light small, beautiful candles of hope in the midst of your daily routine. These are the small lights that illuminate the soul, awaken the sleeping enthusiasm, and gently remind you that you are still on time to create a more authentic, vibrant, and deeply meaningful existence. Here you will find important keys to return to yourself, to recover that powerful spark you may have felt had faded. It truly does not matter what phase of life you are in or what you have experienced up until this point. This is a sacred space for healing, for inspiration, and for a gentle reminder that you deserve to live with a heart that is fully ablaze with passion and purpose. So, take a deep, centering breath, open your mind to new possibilities, and prepare yourself to embark on a transformative journey towards a happier, more fulfilled, and truly authentic life that is uniquely and completely yours. Make a deliberate space for joy in your day, even if it's only in the smallest, most manageable doses. You don't need a lavish vacation on a tropical beach to feel a genuine smile well up from your heart. Sometimes it's as simple as dancing to your favorite song in the kitchen, laughing wholeheartedly with a good friend, or just stopping to watch the sun lovingly caress the leaves of a nearby tree. Play, pleasure, and a sense of lightness are direct, undeniable paths to that inner spark that ignites your motivation and drives you forward. Do you remember when you were a child and you could get so excited about anything? A simple puddle, an empty cardboard box, or a magical story could fill you with wonder. That inherent magic was present in everything, and that capacity has not vanished. It is simply waiting for you to give it permission to return to your life. Choose to make joy a fundamental priority, not just a reward you earn for a job well done. Fill your days with small moments that make you feel truly alive, free, and incredibly lighthearted. When you begin to do this, you'll see how enthusiasm returns on its own, like a dear old friend who never really left you entirely, but was simply waiting for an invitation to come back. To dream is to allow the soul to express itself without any limitations. When was the last time you gave yourself permission to dream on a grand scale, without any self-censorship, and without any fear of what others might think or say? When you declare your dreams out loud, you bring them from the invisible world into the tangible, visible one. You give them form, a clear intention, and a solid direction. And what if today you were to start by simply naming what you genuinely desire? Imagine saying aloud, I dream of making a living doing what I love. Or perhaps I dream of healing my life and living in complete peace. When you do this, something deep within you aligns. It's as if your entire being says, "Yes, that is what I want." And from that powerful moment, every thought and every action can begin to revolve around that profound purpose. What would happen if you made your dreams a daily conversation with yourself? It doesn't matter if the dream seems large or small. What's truly important is that it is authentically yours. And what if, instead of hiding it away, you celebrated it? What if you shared it with someone who genuinely believes in you? By declaring your dreams, you create a loving and profound commitment to your own personal growth. This act awakens your sleeping enthusiasm because you now have a clear direction, a vivid vision to guide you. So I ask you, what is your heart's greatest dream? What words do you need to speak today to begin building your new reality? Because when you dream aloud, you are not just imagining, you are actively creating. Dreams are like luminous threads that stretch from the heart to the horizon of what is possible. They emerge from the soul, carrying with them the gentle whisper of a more fulfilling, more authentic life. They don't appear by chance. They are loving signals that guide your path towards personal growth and ultimate fulfillment. When you listen to them with an open heart, dreams act like powerful lighthouses in the thick fog, illuminating your direction even in the most uncertain moments. They are life's way of communicating with those who are willing to believe in the invisible, in what has not yet taken a physical form, but already exists in a powerful vibration. Accepting a dream is like extending your hands to the sky and receiving a piece of tomorrow, beautifully wrapped in hope. The person who honors their dreams awakens each day with a renewed sense of purpose. And there, where you walk in harmony with those dreams, enthusiasm is born, a silent but incredibly powerful force that propels you forward, lifts you up, and ultimately transforms you. Louise reminds us that dreams don't only happen while we are asleep. They also emerge within us as whispers of joy and hope. When we listen to them with an open mind, we feel safe, protected, and deeply connected to the most essential part of our existence. This conscious act of honoring what we dream of, whether at night or in our waking mind, creates a space of deep inner trust and openness. So ask yourself, what are your most vibrant dreams? How can you listen to their messages and translate them into loving, clear actions? When you open yourself to that inner voice, you give it permission to manifest itself in your life. Enthusiasm truly flourishes when you allow those dreams to guide you with love and a profound sense of purpose. Every single morning is a blank page, a new stage where your soul can express itself with complete freedom. Enthusiasm doesn't just arrive by chance. It is a choice you make, something you intentionally cultivate, and a fire you consciously ignite. The words you speak upon waking have the incredible power to shape the energy of your entire day. Starting with powerful affirmations is like tuning a musical instrument before playing its most beautiful melody. Here are a few potent affirmations to open the door to enthusiasm and motivation. Today is a new beginning, and I choose to be enthusiastic about life. My energy is perfectly aligned with joy, creativity, and purpose. I deserve to live a day filled with inspiration, love, and opportunities. I trust life and the path that is unfolding before me. My enthusiasm is a natural force that guides my every step. These words are not just simple phrases. They are keys that unlock your internal doors. When repeated with faith, they light the spark that transforms your routine into a celebration, and the simple fact of being alive into an act of power and gratitude. It is there, in that elevated vibration, that enthusiasm finds its true and lasting home. Life is constantly speaking to us, but sometimes our internal noise prevents us from hearing its softest messages. Inspiration doesn't always arrive wrapped in big, dramatic moments. Often it disguises itself in profound simplicity, a flower that blooms effortlessly, a spontaneous smile from a stranger, the sky painting itself in hues of gold at sunrise. Each of these moments holds a spark of divine wisdom. When you learn to look with a conscious awareness, the ordinary transforms into a mirror for your soul. Where many see only routine, the awakened person sees thousands of small miracles. The song of a bird, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, the warmth of the sun on your skin, everything can be a loving reminder that you are alive, that there is still so much beauty to discover, and countless reasons to be enthusiastic. Cultivating this perspective is a way of returning to the present moment with deep gratitude. Because by finding inspiration in the simple things, you honor life just as it is, without demanding that it be different. And when your heart opens to this delicate daily wonder, enthusiasm sprouts naturally, like a river that remembers its course and flows freely toward its purpose. There are days when getting out of bed feels like an epic battle. Your body feels heavy, your mind fills with excuses, and your heart feels like it has lost its way. In those moments, waiting until you feel like it is like waiting for the ocean to be completely calm before you attempt to learn how to swim. Real life doesn't always offer ideal conditions, and yet the people who truly transform are those who dare to move, even when every part of them wants to stay still. An exhausted mother who still gets up to prepare breakfast for her children, with tears in her eyes but with love in her heart. A young man going through depression who, even without the strength to smile, gets dressed and goes for a walk because he senses that something will change if he doesn't give up. Or a woman who has lost everything but writes one page of her book, because that single action reminds her that she still has a voice. Action precedes motivation. It is not the other way around. Moving forward, even if it's just one small step, is a powerful declaration of life. It's telling the universe, I'm here, I'm not finished yet, and in that movement, no matter how clumsy or slow it may be, something begins to awaken. Your energy stirs, your body responds, and your soul is activated. Like a fire that begins with a single spark, enthusiasm arrives after the act, not before it. Change starts with uncomfortable but necessary decisions. Motivation is the beautiful consequence of choosing yourself again and again, even when you don't feel like it. So, on those gray days during those heavy hours, do what you can. Sweep the floor, write one single sentence, go outside and take a deep breath. Just move, because by moving, you are reminding life that you are still here. And now, with complete honesty, ask yourself, what small act can you do today, even without the desire to honor the power of continuing to move forward? When you learn to recognize these everyday acts as signs of transformation, something profound changes within you. Your self-esteem blossoms, your heart grows stronger, and your enthusiasm is renewed, because there is no small accomplishment when you are in the process of healing, rebuilding, or choosing a new way of living. Celebrating doesn't always involve noise or big parties. Sometimes it's a smile you catch in the mirror, a quiet well done whispered to yourself, a well-deserved rest, or a single flower you buy for yourself. Acknowledging your progress is like adding wood to your inner fire. It keeps the flame of purpose, self-love, and hope alive and burning brightly. Your soul is nourished by gratitude, not by harsh demands. And in every moment where you honor an accomplishment, you are silently affirming, I am on the right path, I am growing, I am awakening. That is the true, lasting victory. Within every human being lives a child who has not forgotten how to dream, how to play, how to laugh without a specific reason. This inner child still exists, although it has often been silenced by rigidity, judgment, or constant obligations. But it is still there, waiting to be remembered, embraced, and invited back into your life. And that child knows exactly how to get enthusiastic without complicated reasons, because it doesn't need grand goals to feel joy. It is enough for it to have a simple song, a warm gaze, or a beautiful sunset, reconnecting with that child is a return to your origin, to a time when everything seemed possible, where there was no fear of making mistakes or shame in trying something new. It is about allowing your soul to breathe, your body to relax, and your heart to once again beat to the rhythm of wonder. Playing, drawing without a purpose, dancing without a technique, singing without a voice, all of these are doors back to that pure and vibrant part that resides at the very core of your being. That child is not looking for approval or brilliant results. It only wants to live with fullness, explore with curiosity, and love with immense intensity. And when you allow it to come out and play, even for a few minutes a day, enthusiasm is reborn, not because of what you have, but because of what you feel. It's born from the simple fact of being alive, of being able to touch, feel, imagine, and create. Listening to that inner child is an act of deep and profound healing. It is saying to it, "I see you, I value you, and you can play again." And in that sacred play, your soul remembers who it is, and enthusiasm returns to being the natural melody of your life. Every thought is a seed of reality, a powerful vibration that directly influences how you live and feel. Often, without even realizing it, we walk through life repeating inherited phrases, old beliefs and voices that don't belong to our present. I'm not enough. This isn't for me. I'll never achieve it. These are thoughts that become invisible walls, sabotaging us from the inside. But there is an immense power in observing these thoughts without judgment, with compassion, not to fight against them but to gently transform them. Just as you can open a window in a dark room and let the light flood in, you can also open your heart to new ideas, ideas that are more loving, more liberating, and more aligned with who you truly are. Transforming a "I can't" into a "I'm learning" is a profound act of self-love. It's an acknowledgement that the process itself is just as valuable as the final result, that perfection is not the goal, but continuous growth is. It's not about forcing yourself to have positive thoughts, but about consciously choosing a more gentle, more expansive, and more realistic perspective. Over time, these new ways of thinking will become your most trusted allies. And where there was once rigidity, there will now be movement. Where there was fear, possibility will appear. And the enthusiasm that seemed lost will return like a fresh breeze, reminding you that you can always start anew with more love and more truth. Creativity is not a privilege reserved for artists. It is a universal language of the soul. It lives within everyone, just waiting for a space to express itself. It's not about achieving perfection or brilliant results, but about allowing your inner energy to flow freely. Every time you create something, a new recipe, a combination of colors, a different solution to a problem, an idea that didn't exist before, you activate a vibrant healing force that nourishes your spirit. Doing something creative every day is like opening a window to your heart. It can be as simple as changing the way you organize a space, singing while you cook, trying a new route on your walk, or simply imagining what your ideal life would be like. In those small acts, your soul is awake, remembering that it is not here just to survive, but to create, to enjoy, to express itself fully. Creativity does not need applause or external validation. It only requires intention and presence. And when you give it that space, your mind expands, your body relaxes, and your enthusiasm ignites like a brand new flame. Because in every creative act, life becomes lighter, more colorful, and more authentically your own. Allowing something new to emerge from within, without fear or rigid rules, is a daily gift that transforms routine into art and the present moment into a temple of authentic expression. It is there, in that free-flowing state, that your soul feels completely at home. Visualizing a life filled with purpose is not an act of fantasy. It is a powerful act of creation. The mind creates images and emotions that, when held with clarity and faith, begin to manifest in reality. Imagination combined with emotion is creation in motion. Visualizing with enthusiasm doesn't just inspire you, it transforms your energy, your attitude, and your decisions. Imagine for a moment a life that makes you wake up with excitement, a place where every day has meaning, where your talents are valued, where love flows naturally, and inner peace is your home. Feel that image as if it were already happening. Observe the details, the colors, the sounds, the freedom that surrounds you, the joy that vibrates in your every step. That dream is not an illusion. It is a guide, a direction that your soul recognizes. When you live with purpose, life becomes lighter and clearer, doubts dissipate, and enthusiasm flows like a natural spring. You no longer walk through life on autopilot, but with conscious intention, and that intention becomes your powerful engine, your guiding light, your certainty. Visualizing is not escaping the present. It is reminding your soul where it wants to go. And in that remembrance, every daily action becomes sacred because it is connected to a greater meaning, to a luminous vision that gives you strength and a clear direction. Your soul is nourished when you allow yourself to do what you love. It doesn't need endless hours or grand stages. Sometimes, just a few minutes are enough to reconnect with that inner part of you that knows what brings you to life. Dedicating time to what you love is an act of self-respect, a silent affirmation that says, "My joy is important too." Maybe it's painting, writing a story only you know, designing your small garden, creating a recipe blog that reflects your way of caring for others, sewing something with your own hands that you would be proud to wear, or recording a podcast where you can share your voice without filters. That personal project, no matter how small, is an extension of your truth. When you make space for it, everything changes. Your energy soars, your mind calms, and your body responds with vitality, because you are not just doing something, you are returning to yourself. You are remembering what lights you up, what you're passionate about, what brings you back to the present with a genuine smile. What you love has the power to heal you. And when you honor it every day, even with a small gesture, you nourish your motivation from its very roots. It is there, where the soul feels heard, that authentic enthusiasm is born, the kind that doesn't depend on results, but only on a deep connection. The energy with which you live is not a coincidence or an external consequence. It is a choice, a daily construction. Even when circumstances change and people come and go, the way you vibrate internally is your own responsibility. Expecting someone else to motivate, cheer up, or awaken that inner fire is like waiting for someone else to breathe for you. It's simply not possible. No one can give you enthusiasm if you are not willing to cultivate it yourself. The spark is born within you when you decide to take care of yourself, speak to yourself with love, surround yourself with beauty, move with intention, and do what is good for you. Every thought, every choice, and every word you direct toward yourself either adds to or subtracts from your energy, and that silent sum becomes the strength with which you face your day. It's not about demanding that you always be okay, but about lovingly assuming the power to return to yourself whenever you need to. It's about recognizing that even in the midst of chaos, you can choose a clearer thought, a softer emotion, a more aligned action. And when that happens, something ignites. Your soul remembers its light, and enthusiasm flows again, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a sacred decision. Because in the end, the world can accompany you, but only you can light your own flame. Beauty has the power to heal, to uplift, and to remind you that life is not only about duty, it is also a beautiful art form. Beauty inspires because it speaks the same language as the soul. When you surround yourself with shapes, colors, sounds, and spaces that nourish you, Something deep inside you awakens. Motivation doesn't always come from logic. Often it blossoms from contact with what touches your senses and caresses your heart. Have you noticed how your energy shifts when you walk into an organized, light-filled room, or how your mood softens when you listen to a melody you love, see a single flower, or light a candle that smells of calm? This is not superficial. It is essential because beauty doesn't just decorate, it elevates. Surround yourself with objects that bring you peace, with people who speak with kindness, with images, aromas, and sounds that connect you with what makes you feel good. What do you have in your environment that reflects the life you wish to create? What can you change today so that your space becomes a reflection of your well-being? Allow yourself to live among things that make you smile for no reason, because when your senses awaken, your heart awakens too. And in that awakening, enthusiasm finds its rightful home. The words you say to yourself create realities. They are not seen, but they are felt. They are not shouted, but they set your course. Your internal language is the emotional foundation upon which every day is built. And often, without realizing it, we speak to ourselves with harshness, with judgment, with phrases we would never ever say to someone we love. So why do we allow it within ourselves? Caring for your internal language is an act of deep and profound compassion. It's not about pretending to be happy or ignoring pain, but about choosing words that heal instead of wound, that propel you forward instead of holding you back. A single phrase can be a balm or a wound. A loving internal voice can restore your strength, even in the middle of chaos. Try affirmations that elevate your vibration and nourish your well-being. For example, I am enough exactly as I am. I choose thoughts that strengthen me and make me feel good. I treat myself with respect, patience, and love. Every day I have more clarity, more peace, and more joy. I deserve to speak to myself with the same tenderness I would use with a loved one. These phrases are not just simple words, they are acts of healing. When repeated with a conscious awareness, they transform your internal dialogue into a safe, gentle, and powerful space. Because when the language within you changes, the way you feel, act, and live changes too. For a long time we have been taught to see failure as something final, as a sign of inability or weakness, but that perspective only feeds guilt and fear. Failure is not an end. It is a curve in the road. It is not a meaningless fall, but an adjustment, a message from your soul that says this wasn't the way, but keep searching because there is something for you. Redefining failure is liberating yourself from the heavy weight of judgment. It is understanding that every stumble carries a lesson, a new tool, a part of yourself you didn't know before. You don't fail when something doesn't go well. You only fail when you stop trying with an open heart. The experience does not subtract from your value, it multiplies it. A mistake can be the threshold of a great transformation, an unexpected closure, the prelude to a new beginning. And in every failed attempt, there is a seed of wisdom that, if cultivated with love, turns into clarity, maturity, and inner strength. Because the person who gets up with a firmer soul is not just repeating the process, they are evolving. Failure is not a sign that you can't, but an opportunity to do things differently from a new place. And in that understanding, enthusiasm ignites once again, not from the pressure of perfection, but from the courage to choose yourself one more time. Curiosity is the soft but persistent voice of your soul. It doesn't scream, it doesn't push, it doesn't demand, it simply whispers. It is that subtle energy that awakens when something catches your attention, even if you don't know why. It could be an idea, a topic, a place, or a conversation that makes you turn your head and want to know more. That curiosity is not a coincidence. It is your guide, your compass, your sacred direction. In a world that trains us to seek certainties, curiosity comes to break the mold. It invites us to explore without guarantees, to walk without knowing exactly where the path will lead, but that very mystery is what lights up genuine enthusiasm. Because when you follow your curiosity, you are following the most authentic voice of your being. You are telling yourself, I trust what moves me, even if I don't fully understand it. Maybe it's that art class that always appealed to you, or a book you can't put down, a craft you never imagined learning, or a conversation that awakens dormant ideas within you. Every small spark of curiosity can become a flame if you give it the space it needs, and that flame has the power to transform everything, your energy, your purpose, your way of living. Following your curiosity is saying yes to life. It is allowing enthusiasm to be discovered, not imposed. Because in what intrigues you, in what lights you up for no apparent reason, in what makes you lose track of time, that is the map to your most authentic joy. Don't ignore it. That inner call could be the beginning of everything you've always been looking for. Awakening enthusiasm is not a matter of luck or perfect moments. It is a conscious act, a daily decision to return to yourself. Everything begins when you remember who you truly are. A being full of light, with purpose, with immense inner strength. By making space for joy, even in the simplest of details, you allow your energy to rise and your heart to open to new possibilities. This is the path to living with enthusiasm, returning to your center, acting with intention, and choosing yourself with love every single day. Do you think this video can help you feel more alive, more connected with yourself and your desire to live? I would love for you to share your thoughts in the comments. How are you feeling now? How are you going to start seeing life from this moment on? Tell us, because this channel is a space where there is no judgment, where we are all welcome exactly as we are. Here there are many of us on the path of growing, healing, and living with more consciousness. We are a solid community, united by a sincere desire to live better from a place of love, not from fear. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself this moment, for opening your heart. If this content has touched you, inspired you, or simply made you feel good, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need it. You never know who you could help with just one click. And I want to say goodbye with a beautiful phrase from Louise Hay. Life loves me. Everything I need to know is revealed to me. Everything I need comes to me at the perfect time. I send you a huge supportive hug. We'll see each other in the next video. You will always have a place here.